Want to know the number one way to increase your revenue? No, it's not new customers. Today, I'm going to talk about the number one way to increase your revenue and make sure you're able to scale and grow your business. Hey, my name is Jesse Ecker, and today I'm talking about the number one way to grow your revenue, the most efficient way to grow your revenue, and it's not going out and acquiring new customers. Okay, with context, getting new customers can grow your revenue. Of course it can, but it's not the most efficient way, and it's not the number one place you should start when thinking about growing and scaling your business. So, who should you start with? Well, the most simple answer is your customers. People who know, like, and trust you already, who've already proven to buy with you, who've already moved past that sales function into the buyer function. Why do we want to start with these people? Well, simply put, the hardest sale to come by, the hardest sale to get, is a new sale. And so if the hardest sale to get is a new sale, then we need to look, if we're efficiently growing our business, how do we resell the people that have already shown that they like us, that they trust us, that they want to move forward with us. Now, one of the most important things to understand here is that when we're growing our business, we cannot have any leaky buckets in our business. So imagine you put all your focus in getting new customers, okay? But your customers that you were having, we're not repurchasing with you. We're not buying more with you, either at a higher level or lower level or on a more frequent level. And so all the new customers you're coming in are then leaking out your system, your back-end system, that's now causing your customers to go out. So imagine you have this pretty machine, okay? It's a really nice machine, and you have this machine and you have things going in the machine and things coming out of the machine, right? It's like an input and an output. But imagine the later part of the machine, you had things leaking out of it. Would you still have the same output? Of course not. You need a squeaky clean machine where you're consistently getting similar results. So here's the deal. The way that you want to grow your business systematically is where you want to start at the back end and you want to grow your business on a revenue standpoint at the beginning with your customers, okay? So what does that mean? Well, that means having something that they can ascend to, and ascend doesn't mean something higher, like a higher price program, it just means something that they can buy in addition or buy on a more frequent basis. Maybe it's something recurring, maybe it's something that's going to keep them in your life cycle and increase the lifetime value of that customer. And so if you can increase the lifetime value of that customer and you can get your customer to buy more often or spend more money with you, then that number of your customer lifetime value is going to start going up. All right? Which means that you now have more confidence to build new customers because you have a system to grow customers to go up. Which means that when you start to increase new customers, guess what's happening with your customer lifetime value as well, or your customer value? It's going up at the same way. That's how you systematically grow your business, is you have both your customer value going up plus your new customers coming in going up. If you had new customers coming in, but you had no customer value going up, you're only gonna grow to an exponential point. You're gonna hit a ceiling at some point, and at some point you're gonna start to spend more money on acquiring customers, and you're gonna make less profit on the back end. That's not fun if you're a business owner. Our goal is to make more profit. So we want to make sure that we're not only getting more revenue, but we have more opportunities for more profit. Why are you going to get more profit? Well, if you don't have to spend more money to get your current customer to buy more often or spend more money with you, then you don't have any extra costs that come with it. To acquire a new customer, that always has a cost, whether that's with massive time to organically get them, with either paying a referral fee or paying advertising costs. So there's a cost associated with acquiring that new customer. But on the back end, there's no more cost with acquiring new customers unless you're paying a salesperson. All right? So if you really want to grow your business efficiently and make sure that you can actually scale you need to make sure that you have a process to increase the customer lifetime value so that you can confidently grow your new customer base and bring them in. All right, so how can you go ahead and increase that customer lifetime value? Well, here are a few really interesting ideas for you to use and think about when you're going and growing your customers. So the number one thing that I would think about is, what other problems are your customers having, right? So normally what happens is, as an entrepreneur, we solve problems at a profit, right? And normally we're solving one problem or one frustration our potential customer is having, right? Or our customers having. And so when we solve that problem, what tends to happen? Well, normally, because we've done a good job, we've solved that problem, they have a new problem that arises. New opportunity for you to solve a new problem, all right? Because when you're promising what you're gonna do and you solve the problem, you've done your job. You've solved the problem for them. You're not an all-in-one solution. You're a problem-solving solution for the problem that they had, the frustration they have. So I'll give you an example. We do something called the breakthrough method. The breakthrough method teaches people how to put on what we call a breakthrough event, and it helps them scale their sales so that they can multiply their sales at a very short period of time. Now, when you do this, you tend to get a lot of traction really quickly. And what ends up happening is, once you put this on successfully, you are now needing to hire. Okay, well, in our initial program, we don't teach people how to hire. So the next most logical thing would be, how do you systemize, how do you process, how do you create a team around the breakthrough method so that you don't have to be stuck doing it all? So first of all, we get the person to get their sales to see how they can actually scale and multiply in a very short period of time. We test, prove, and validate that method for them. Once they've done that, they're like, okay, I'm ready to do more of this and put more effort into this, energy and resources. Then they're gonna be able to think about, how do I hire for a team? And they're gonna know, like, and trust us because we've got them results. And this is a good place for us to go to the next level with them. Okay, so number one is, think about, what is another problem that you can solve for your people? Number two, now if you don't know what problem you can solve, a simple way that you can figure out what to offer is ask. You can send a survey out and say, hey, what's your biggest challenge that you're facing right now that you are having in your business or with your customer, your demographic? What is the number one challenge you're facing in terms of whatever you help people with, right? Whatever problems you solve. That's another great way to understand what they're doing. Also, another great thing is, what other products have you bought recently? What have you spent money in over the last 30 days? You can simply ask people and get the response so that you can start to craft what a new solution could be for people to buy more often with you. Also, can you give them more support, right? Maybe your product only offers a certain amount of support. Can you give them extra support? Can you have a new level with what you're doing? Maybe you have different tiers of how you offer your support, and one is a regular and one's a more elite level. This is going to increase the average order and the lifetime value of your customer, right? So thinking about what else you can offer them. Also, maybe there's a lower level solution that you can offer them. Maybe there's something that is like very low end that's going to help them, stay in the loop or updated in a certain segment of the market, trend of the market, specific leads that they can get. Whatever it is, you're looking for problems and frustrations your market is having, and you're looking for, how can I easily create solutions without, creating a ripple effect in my business that's going to increase the lifetime value and the customer value that I have. Once I feel very confident that you're not a one-trick pony, right? Where they only buy one product with you and then they're done, because that business doesn't work. Once you actually have a system for creating multiple buying effects, whether it's buying more often with you or spending more money with you or just increasing the value with you, then you have an opportunity to then grow and scale your business. So I went through a lot today. I know that there is a lot to unpack there, but that's how you efficiently grow your business and create a 7-figure online brand. What did you think? What was your biggest takeaway from today? Tell me in the comments so that I can see what insights you gathered from this and what was your ahas from it. I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next video.